Every legend leaves a trace. Some linger in memory, others in things that were never meant to fall into human hands. In the Myths Belief Store, you'll find artifacts, talismans, and relics steeped in the darkness of ancient faiths. Enter if you dare to touch what is forgotten and terrifying. Link in the description. In the darkness of ancient times, before mountains, rivers, and humans existed, there was only darkness and boundless waters. Waters so deep that even the gods feared to look into their abyss. It was there, among waves that knew neither beginning nor end, that a whisper was born. A whisper that slowly turned into a roar, and from that roar she emerged Tiamat, the mother of chaos, the primordial goddess whose name was never spoken without trembling. People believed that when her name fell from human lips, the waters began to churn, and the world remembered how close it was to slipping back into nothingness. For Tiamat was no ordinary goddess. She was the very essence of primordial chaos, a force that existed long before anything that could be called life. Tiamat is one of the oldest and most terrifying beings in Mesopotamian mythology. She was considered the embodiment of the primordial ocean from which everything arose: the gods, the earth, the sky, and life itself. Her appearance was described in many ways, for she was a being of shifting form, impossible for the human mind to fully grasp. In some accounts, she took the shape of a colossal sea serpent, twisting like a living river whose body could coil around entire continents. In others, she was a dragon with wings as wide as the horizon, scales as hard as stone, and eyes glowing like burning stars. Sometimes she was depicted as a hybrid half-woman, half-monster, with a body covered in spikes, claws, and teeth sharp as obsidian. It was believed that her breath could summon storms, and her movements reshaped the world. She was the mother of monsters, beings born from her rage and chaos, created to defend her against anyone who dared to stand against her. In mythology, Tiamat was not only a goddess, but also a force of nature that could not be tamed. According to the Enuma Elish, she created the first gods, but when they began to rebel against her and disturb her peace, Tiamat fell into fury. She then gave birth to an army of monsters, dragons, serpents, demons, and beasts meant to help her destroy the younger gods. Among them were enormous scorpions, fire-breathing dragons, and creatures made of bone and mud. Leading them was Marduk, the storm god, the only one who dared to challenge her. Their battle was so powerful that it was said to shake the very foundations of the world. Marduk used the wind to force open her jaws, and then pierced her heart with a spear. When he defeated Tiamat, he split her body in two. From one half, he created the sky, from the other, the earth. Her eyes became the sources of two great rivers, and her breath transformed into the wind. Thus, order was born from chaos, but people believed her spirit never vanished, that she still sleeps in the depths, waiting for the moment she can return and reclaim what was taken from her. In many later interpretations, Tiamat became a symbol of untamed nature, feminine power, destruction, and rebirth. Some saw her not as a monster, but as the mother of everything that exists, a being betrayed and slain, so that the younger gods could create the world according to their own rules. In this version, Tiamat is not evil, but a victim whose body became the foundation of reality. Her rage was a response to the rebellion of her own children, not a desire for destruction. This makes her myth even more complex and haunting, showing that even gods are not free from betrayal and violence. In popular culture, Tiamat has become a symbol of ultimate evil, power, and chaos. She appears in games such as Dungeons & Dragons, where she is depicted as a five-headed dragon, each head representing a different element and a different form of destruction. In the Final Fantasy series, she appears as a powerful beast, a guardian, and sometimes an enemy whose defeat borders on the impossible. In fantasy literature and comics, Tiamat often appears as the mother of dragons, an ancient force that remembers the time before the world was created. In films and animations, her image evolves, but always remains monumental, terrifying, and filled with divine dread. She is the archetype of a monster that cannot be understood or defeated without sacrifice, a being that reminds us that chaos is older than order and darkness older than light. And now a question for you. Would you dare to look into the eyes of a being that remembers the birth of the world? Would you believe stories about a goddess who can destroy everything that exists with a single movement of her hand? Or perhaps you know other legends about ancient monsters waiting in the darkness for their return. Let me know in the comments what you think of Tiamat and which other mythical beings you want to see in future episodes. If you enjoy this atmosphere, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any upcoming dark stories.